ABC 15 Mornings.
I'm extremely concerned. This is not a situation we've ever seen before.
Collectively, is my opinion, our government has failed its people.
We are making it very clear that our border is not open, that crossing irregularly is against the law.
In just a matter of hours, Title 42 will come to an end. It's the immigration policy being used to expel migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border and prevent them from entering the U.S. illegally. Now, cities along the nearly 2,000-mile stretch of the border are bracing for a surge in migrant crossings.
And ABC 15 is bringing you team coverage of the big story this morning and the direct impact right here in Arizona. Our Nick Saletti is reporting live from Yuma. Our national correspondent has a live report for us from El Paso, and ABC News will bring us the very latest from our nation's capital.
And a new report shows most small cars don't provide good protection for people sitting in the back seat. I'll show you which sedans pass the test and which ones put passengers at a greater risk. It's an all-new Operation Safe Roads report.
I'm just trying to win the game, you know, just whatever it takes at all costs.
And whatever it takes at all costs, we are rallying behind the Phoenix Suns this morning as they face elimination in a win-or-go-home matchup tonight at the Footprint Center.
But we do begin with this breaking news as we wake you up here on a Thursday morning at 5 a.m. An urgent manhunt is underway in Phoenix after a shootout with police, and now that person is on the run.
Our Jamie Warren is live this morning. Jamie, you're near a charter school as police search for the suspect.
Yeah, Justin and Kaylee, we're right across the street from that charter school. It doesn't appear that this school will be impacted by this investigation because we do see the roadway here is open. But I want to show you where Phoenix police are focusing this search on. So just south of us here, we're off of 91st Avenue and Toronto Lane. You can hear a helicopter above us right now. And just moments ago, I saw about like 5 or so more police units heading towards this neighborhood. And according to Phoenix police, this is an officer-involved shooting. They tell us that no officers are injured, but they are still looking for a suspect. So the focus right now is in this neighborhood just south of us, and that is where, again, this focus is. So just north across the street, as I mentioned, is that charter school. Does not appear to be impacted by all of this, but right now, police, they are asking anyone in this area to just stay away from this neighborhood as they focus on this investigation. And I did speak with a neighbor who lives in the neighborhood just adjacent to us this morning. He told us that he did hear a couple of gunshots. So obviously a very fluid situation, but as soon as we get more details on this evolving situation, we're going to be updating you throughout the morning. I'll send things back to you.
Our Jamie Warren live. First, we'll be checking back in with you in just a few minutes. Thanks, Jamie. And also breaking overnight, a ruptured gas leak causes a home to go up in flames in Phoenix. This is near 19th Avenue and Broadway. Firefighters say the fire started in the carport and then quickly spread to the home. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but 4 people who live at that house are displaced and are now getting help from the Red Cross. Hazmat crews are on the scene trying to secure that leak.
It is 5:03, and we do want to take a look at your forecast. 64 degrees here at ABC 15. Maybe it's a sign of something to look forward to.
Yeah, meteorologist Iris Hermosillo is here with a check on your forecast. Hey there, Iris.
You know, that's a reflection of how cool it was yesterday. Yes. So our temperatures overnight have managed to drop further, but it's actually going to be a warmer day today. Now, that said, we're not going to get too uncomfortable. Our high climbing to about 90 this afternoon. So that's still technically a little bit below the average high for this time of year, but it is about 10 degrees higher than where we ended up yesterday. And you'll notice that warm up is going to be a little faster. We'll go from 63, where we are right now officially, up to 81 by lunchtime, and then we'll hit 90 degrees by about 4 p.m. with temperatures falling back down into the 80s by about 6 to 7 o'clock here this evening. So a warmer day today, and this warming trend just continues. I'll show you when we're going to hit the hundreds in that 7-day forecast. Plus, we're talking about air quality because that is getting worse for some of us in the community. I'll show you the alerts that are now in place. First, I want to send it over to Megan Thompson, who's off to a busy start here looking at our roads.
Yeah, this actually has not even popped up yet on our traffic maps, but I was looking through some of those cameras and bam, there it was. Those flashing lights are pretty obvious here at this early hour. hour, and they're on a difficult spot for you commuters. It's the I-10 eastbound near about 51st Avenue. So as folks are making their way into the downtown Phoenix area. So it does appear that that left HOV lane is restricted and folks are having to move over at least one lane to get by in this area, and speeds are definitely reduced at this very early hour. We don't typically see it. They're right around 20 miles per hour in that spot. So be prepared to slow down before things pick back up again, closer to 65 miles per hour where we should be at this point of the morning, right at the stack where the 17 and the 10 come together. Over in the East Valley, we did have a crash on the US 60 in that eastbound direction, right near the Loop 101, that interchange there. Luckily, as you see right now, those traffic flows look good and that area is back open. As we look at those desert drive times, including on the 60 in your westbound direction from the 202 to the 10, that's 15 minutes, 10 minutes on the 101 in the northbound direction of the Price Freeway from the 202 Santan to the 202 Red Mountain, and the westbound direction of the Red Mountain Freeway from the 101 to the mini stack is about 7 minutes. With that crash on the 10, I'll get you a check of that desert drive time so you know what to expect still coming up.
All right, that's much appreciated, Megan. 5:05 now, and we turn to the border where migrants are gathering as we speak in these final hours leading up to the end of Title 42 tonight. But this morning, hundreds of National Guard members are deployed, some even in riot gear. Federal officials emphasizing the border is not open, but as you well know, that is not stopping thousands of people from other countries trying to come in.
Our team coverage begins in our nation's capital, where ABC's Lindsay Watts has more new warnings from the Biden administration.
Good morning. President Biden is warning of chaos at the southern border and not saying how long he thinks it will last. This morning, migrants are crowding at the southern border. In Texas, drone footage shows the lines in El Paso. And in Brownsville, the National Guard in place. As Title 42 expires late tonight, President Biden says it's going to be chaotic at the border for a while.
Look, the purpose of what we're doing now is making legal immigration more streamlined, illegal immigration shorter term and move in a direction that people know that there's a legal way to get here and not a legal way.
A new policy by the Biden administration will require migrant families seeking asylum to be subjected to home curfews and GPS monitoring while immigration officials determine whether they should be deported.
We are making it very clear that our border is not open, that crossing irregularly is against the law, and that those who are not eligible for relief will be quickly returned.
House Republicans expected to vote today on a new bill that would further restrict asylum and build more of the border wall. President Biden says he'll veto the bill if it passes.
If you don't like our bill, what's your answer? What's your plan? What are you going to do?
Another new rule by the Biden administration says migrants must have paperwork filed before they arrive, or they'll have to wait 5 years before applying again. Lindsay Watts, ABC News, Washington.
Here in Arizona, our sister station in Tucson visited one of 3 controlled border crossings from Mexico and Nogales. In the last several days, traffic has been about normal, but there's a lot of suspense about the moment Title 42 comes to an end tonight and unleashes 3 years of pent-up demand. Santa Cruz County Supervisor Manny Ruiz says that instead of the military, he'd really like to see a surge of immigration judges to allow quick rulings on asylum claims.
As a human being, we understand, or maybe we don't understand, what many of these families are going through. So we have to have a little bit of compassion, but at the same time, when you don't have the resources that are there to really help provide a better shelter or a better way of addressing some of their needs, it makes it very hard.
Asylum seekers are being told not to use the Mariposa cargo port, which handles a large share of fruits and vegetables that wind up at your table. The Port Authority chairman says that he is confident that the immigration issue will not affect the flow of cargo.
Our Scripps station in Tucson also visiting Douglas, where faith-based organizations are keeping their doors open to asylum seekers who do need a place to stay, including First Presbyterian Church of Douglas, offering cots to sleep on, food and water. Well, the county is offering resources as well, but the church is providing most of the items needed to feed and care for people who need it most. We will continue our team coverage for you this morning in our next half hour, including those live reports from El Paso we mentioned, and Yuma too. along with an in-depth look at immigration laws. You can find complete coverage online right now at abc15.com or on our free ABC 15 mobile app. Don't go anywhere, Arizona. We are back in a moment.